Hey everybody, welcome to the first official Adventures in Rust YouTube video. In this video we made it up to Canada to visit Carl Fisher in his shop, Japan's Customs. His YouTube channel is Make It Custom, where he does fabulous metalwork and teaches you a ton of fabrication skills using everything from a hammer to a power hammer, an English wheel, all those machines you see in the back there, shrinker, stretcher, his own custom die forming machines. It's pretty amazing what he does. But today we're doing a bunch of work on this 1951 Meteor. The Meteor is a Canadian version of the Ford from the era. So 1949, 1950, 1951, all shoebox Fords that were sold in Canada were sold as Meteors. And they have a different hood, I think a different trim level, and they weren't sold as a Ford. I think Fords were sold there too, but that's a bit confusing. This car in particular is a Ford with Meteor parts, but we're going to refer to it as a Meteor from here on out. You'll never hear me say Ford again. Meteor. It's a Mercury. Nope, it's not a Mercury either. It's a Meteor. Anyway, this car right now, you can see this is day one. We're well into the chop. What we've done is laid out on there what we're removing, which is a bunch of pillar sections, and the windows, the interior, everything's out of there. What we're going for is a 4-5 chop. So 4 inches out of the front, 5 inches out of the rear. Just give it a nice look, but still a somewhat drivable car. But then as we looked at it here, we said, nah, it needs another inch. So we went down one more in the back, and it ended up with a 4-6 chop, which just gave it that sinister look. You can tell it just added that little bit of attitude in the rear there. And really, it was what we were going for. So once we got that locked in, here we're playing with the rear window, just kind of getting some visualizations of what it'll be in the future. The truth is, you don't really see it until we make that panel in the very back, and that is on the last day. Before that, the rear window is just kind of floating in space. It's not very relevant to what we're doing right now. What we're really doing is securing the top and getting it set in place first. But the first day was just about cutting it, laying it out, kind of getting the vibe for the car, and getting to know each other. So that's the end of day one. What a good time. The day two, here we started at 9 in the morning, not too early, not too late, and we worked all day, really. But what we have going on is we're going to tilt in the pillars here. So the lower section of the pillars get 1/2 inch in here, 1/2 inch in there. The upper section of the pillar is actually going to get spread about 1/2 inch as well. And that's going to make it so they all line back up really close to a factory look. From here, you can see we're cutting a pie cut out of there so that they can tilt in. I'm doing this one on this side. The other guys jumped in and did the other side. And then we're pushing them in, threw a couple tacks on there. The other group is cutting the top so that it can spread out. One of the things I really like about this car is that front trim. If you look at the very front of the hood there, you see that massive bulge on it. That is just a cool piece of trim to me. Anyway, we got the roof back on here. Just trimming it up right now, fitting it into those rear quarter panels so that it lays on there and actually smoothly transitions from the roof back into the quarter. And actually, it's really clean. It turned out really nice. We just trimmed that drip rail up a little bit too so it could, kind of flow with the car. Making final revisions on the front pillar and then tacking them into place. The back had to come up to get trimmed a couple more times. But, it's a long process. There's a bunch of pieces that you have to do there, but it's worth it, and it's relatively straightforward. Right now, we're going to push the car outside, get a good look at it on the outside, and make sure, from 20 feet back we like it, and we definitely do. The only thing, it sits way too high right now, so suspension, it's coming in the future. This car has quite the road ahead of it. It's going to be modernized, sufficiently modernized. And that's going to make it so it's a great daily driver. And really, I plan to put 150,000 miles on this car over the next few years and just really use it every day. So it's going to get a lot of stuff going on. But that's for the future. So make sure you follow along so you can see this whole process. Here you can see the guys, what they're doing right now is actually putting that C pillar or B pillar in. It has to be shortened, welded back together, and then welded in place. We ended up going with a tilted B pillar as opposed to putting it back in kind of straight up like the factory one. The tilt to me just looks better. It flows with the car, it flows with the chop. Just a better way to go. Here you can see the guys putting the door tops back on because the door actually includes the window top there. So they just pop that in place, cut it down to size, repeated the same process. Just trim it, fit it, trim it, fit it, and then tack it in place. This car still needs a lot of work to get cleaned up and finished and be done. But right now it's in place, it's welded, it looks good. Here we're going to start messing with the grills. Right there it had a Chevy grill in it. Then we just tried a 54 Ford. And now it's got the Meteor grill in there. It's 51 Meteor grill and a 51 Meteor. It looks right. It's cool. And it probably is the way I'd go. Except for I think I've come up with a better solution now. So you'll have to watch my next video to see what that one is. Here Carl is making some rings here that he cut out on his plasma cutter. And then using a punch to kind of push through them and make a radius panel to weld into the doors where all of the corners got kind of screwed up from tilting it and everything. They look good. Here's the rest of the day was spent on mini bikes. Carlos out there with his truck shooting fire. It's not a bad way to spend your day. I absolutely love the suspension on this thing, that you could see the hydraulics move, see the suspension raise. It's killer. There's this buddy riding by on one of the mini bikes. They're all Honda 50 cc's, which turns out I am too big for at this point in my life. I've spent my time on a Honda 50, but I don't think it's happening anymore. This here, spin around in the dirt, shoot some fire, you know, hang out with friends. This is a good way to spend your day, people. And I absolutely love this truck. You can see Carl's logo there on the side. Here he's trying to run me over, but all is good. He's got a great logo, and then on the back he's actually got another logo that's pressed into that panel, the like copper colored panel, that I just think is really cool. But yeah, that was just a fun way to spend the afternoon and kind of hang out, talk to everybody, drink some sodas, and watch everybody ride around making idiots of themselves. Day 3. Today we're really wrapping up the 2 side panels and the center panel on the roof. So that's what we're making here first. Carl's laying it out on that big piece of metal and then running it through the power hammer. And we're all going to take a shot at it and get to use the power hammer. But it's great for putting this little bit of shape in the panel so that it flows with the roof design. I think a lot of people would be tempted to throw a flat panel in there and kind of mud it and whatever, but this is the way to do it. You can see Shane running the machine there. We try it on, then I'm running the machine. It's a lot faster than it looks in this video, but it's just such a slow motion kind of look because it was shot so fast. Lee's running the machine. Test fit it. After everybody, we test fit it. Matthew, now we're going to test fit. Carl goes back, runs it a whole bunch more. It's a process to get this to fit. And that machine is loud. Let your neighbors know when you get one that the machine gun fire from your house is totally just your power hammer. Here, nice lunch. I think today we had burgers and chips and just hung out and had nice conversations about cars and life and everything. It's a really good group of people. It was a great social experience on top of a learning experience and just a good couple work days of putting a car together. These guys decided to jump back before the rest of us were done hanging out, and I'm glad they did because we were running out of time that day to get all this done. But we've got them trimming that panel to make it fit really close, and you'll see Carl's going to come back in and TIG it in place in a couple spots. Car's just tack welded together essentially everywhere. But it's important to get those gaps right now so that when I go back and do the final welding, it'll be relatively easy. With the MIG, I can feel a pretty big gap, but Carl is using a TIG there, and the gaps have to be really clean. Here, he's actually making a pattern. There, he's got some internal structure that he built to make the pattern pieces for each side here for the sail panel. And then you see him laying it out right now. He's showing us how to fabricate it essentially on the English wheel, how to get the shape in there and the form in there using the English wheel. We'll go ahead and give it a try. We made 3 for this side, I think 3 for the other side. Carl's 1 for the other side, and then we had a little friendly competition for whose panel ended up on the car on this side, the passenger side. I have to tell y'all, my panel ended up on there. It was a second place panel, I have to tell you that too. But Lee, who made the better panel, it was a little short, so we kicked it out. Thanks, Mike is the one who decided to make that call, and that made my panel go on my car, and I'm happy with that. Although I have to admit, everybody's panels were great. They were surprisingly easy to form decently. None of us were perfect. Carl's was pretty good, closer to perfect than the rest. Here you can see we're all standing around posing for some pictures. We really had a good time. It was a good group of people who were there. Both the guys taking the class and Carl's friends who came in and out through the time we were there. And it was just nice to meet them all and have a group of like-minded people around to chat with and get to know. Here you can see what I did was I cut up that piece of the roof that we removed, cut it into some pieces, and everybody got a little piece of the car to take home with the Japan sticker on it and everybody's signatures. So I hope everybody appreciated that they got a little piece of the car for themselves. But here, everybody's just wrapping up the final tack welds to get these pieces on the car so that it's ready to go. So I could tow it home. It's got a long road home from southern Canada to southern California. We went ahead next and we just started loading in all the parts. These are all seat frames, the trim pieces, the window surrounds, everything else that's got to get either used on the car or find a new home. But there's a lot of parts that came with this car. Cool visor on the top of the roof there. Nice little shot of Carl's logo, Make It Custom, for his YouTube channel, which I'm assuming you're following, but you should follow that as well. He does just great work, and obviously it's inspiring to all of us. Finding the VIN so I can make it back through customs, because I didn't want to get stopped at the border and have them try to take my new car. But follow along, guys, because we will be building this car. It's got a fun future ahead of it. It's going to be modernized quite a bit and made to be a daily driver with some really cool features. So follow along, watch it. I mean, you can see right here, it turned out amazing. And long road ahead, but we'll get it there. Anyway, watch the next video. I will do an in-depth dive on the car and where we're at. So thanks.